this class, we will be studying very important and major work of Amita Bhaviskar. So Amita Bhaviskar at present teaches sociology and environment at Osaka University. She did her PhD at Cornell University, and this book which we are going to discuss, in the belly of the river, tribal conflicts over development in the Narmada Valley. This book was part of her PhD thesis, and the book was published in 1995. Still it is being printed, and the book which I am carrying to the class is of 2023 or 24 edition. So you could understand that the book was published how many years back? Maybe 25 years, 30 years back, okay? But the book remains relevant today. And what we are going to do today, we will be reading the method of Amita Bhaviskar. And Amita Bhaviskar has raised some very fundamental issues related to the methodology of a researcher. Some of my friends, when I joined this course, asked me few days back that, sir, I am doing some research in tribal areas in Kerala, somewhere else, how should we go about it? I am having two views, I have got multiple views. When I have to write something, sometimes I get confused how to proceed about it. So Amita Bhaviskar, she is also facing the same problem. So what we are going to do, we will be discussing the book and our focus will be on the method. You are going to become a scholar, researcher, you will do a study. Then some ethical question will be always there. So we will be looking at how Amita Bhaviskar has looked at those questions. So your questions, your problems and Amita Bhaviskar's problems, they are very much similar. So I have already told you Amita Bhaviskar. The second point, what is this book about? We have already discussed Narmada Bachao Andolan in our previous class. And what is this Narmada Bachao Andolan? In 1980s, big mega dam projects were sponsored and they were going to be constructed in areas in Gujarat or in Madhya Pradesh, okay? And then it was feared that lots of people are going to be displaced and their villages would be submerged. So people protested that policy, and then Narmada Bachao Andolan became a big movement. The matter was taken to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court gave a judgment that okay, you can continue with the dam project, but people should be rehabilitated properly. So Narmada Bachao Andolan is very important in a sense that it has raised very fundamental questions about the model of development which the country is undertaking. In the previous webinar, Sandeep Pandeyji was with us, and he said that after this dam project, Narmada Bachao Andolan, even the World Bank has said that now it will not support and fund and finance big dam because it is not good for the ecology. So Amita Bhaviskar was very much interested in that movement, and she has gone there, lived among Adivasis, even taught Adivasi people, and she is engaging with her questions and several research problems. So basically she went to Ali Rajapur in Madhya Pradesh, where this field study is done. People can ask where this work has been done. It has been done in Ali Rajapur. Okay, where is Ali Rajapur? Ali Rajapur is in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, it is called Malwa region of the Madhya Pradesh, the area which is close to Gujarat border. Okay, so Vadodara will be very much close to the area Ali Rajapur where she is doing the research. Close to doesn't mean that 5 kilometers or 10 kilometers, but the big place in Gujarat, which is well known, is Vadodara. So she is in the directions of Vadodara. Okay. So she has gone there and she had studied the issues. What is the focus of her study? The conflict, the debate around developments, the issues of the Adivasis, and also the cultural and material question. It is both. It is not only material question. You understand what is this material question and what is this cultural question? Suppose Adivasis are living in this area, and okay, government has decided to displace them, and then their lands will be taken by the government, and some big dam or maybe some factory will be set up there. So when they have lost their land, it is their material deprivation. Okay, material means land, property. But what is cultural? When you call Adivasi that they are not civilized, when you call Adivasi that they do not understand what is development, when you teach something that is very much alien to their way of knowledge, so you are also culturally attacking them. You are not only attacking them materially but also culturally. Suppose if I take your bag, so I am depriving you of your bag. So in some way you are losing your bag, and you are losing bag as a material. Okay, so there is a material deprivation. But if you come to class and suppose she is from Tripura and she speaks, let's say, English and Hindi, and if I say, oh, you are not correctly speaking Hindi and English like a Delhi wala, so I am not taking money from her, okay, but I am psychologically attacking her. Okay, I am also destroying her psychologically, culturally. So Narmada Bachao Andolan, which she has studied, it is not only about dam, it is not about taking of the land, displacement. It is also how culturally Adivasis has been attacked. Okay, the way our education system is put in place, this is not convenient for Adivasi community, even for not for the women. I am telling you, most of the teachers who teach at school and colleges, they are not sensitized enough. Okay, how to take up a women's question. You will see in seminar, the issue would be Istri ka Andolan, women's movement, and all the speakers will be male. Okay, so you could understand that how insensitive our system is. In our parliament also, the representation of women is something around 20% or less than that, and women is around 50%. So why can't they will be given 50% seats? So this study is not about material aspect, it is also about cultural aspect, and how the state is going to make dam, construct dam, and how lives of Adivasi is going to be negatively affected. Even the education system in the area of Adivasi area, they are designed in such a way that they create alienation among Adivasi. You go to any, I have also seen in private school, okay, they speak, the medium of instruction is English, but the child is not speaking English at home. So I have seen that many students who are forced to study in English medium school, they do not do well, and they do not feel confident. So the education system in this way is alienating people. I am not against English, but if a child is not able to comprehend English, or maybe he is more comfortable in Bangla language, why can't we teach in Bangla? The many great philosopher and thinker, they picked up English at a much later stage. So the education system is creating alienation. The education system among Adivasi is also creating what? A sense of being inferior. Okay. So she is also looking at those dimensions, and when she has entered the area, she is not a Adivasi. She is well educated, English speaking, non-Adivasi researcher, and she is studying at Cornell University. So she is in dilemma that if I enter this Adivasi area, the Adivasi area is under the threat because of the development project. People are protesting, no, 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 our land cannot be taken away. Then I enter as a researcher. So what is my responsibility? My responsibility only to go and get all the information, write thesis and run away? Or my information is get attached to them? So she is asking the question, what should be the priority for a researcher? Writing good thesis, getting the articles published, getting good names, or working among the people, or having concern for them? So this is very important question. We all face it. What is the method she is talking about? The first thing she says that in her research, she is basically criticizing positivism. So the positivism is a term, you should not get confused. I will try to explain what is this positivism. Positivism is a very dominant methodology in social sciences, and positivism has not come from social sciences. It has come from science, from your own discipline. Okay. So in 19th century, there were big philosophers. Okay. They were heavily influenced by scientific methods, and one of them was Auguste Comte. Okay. So the Auguste Comte was for positivist methodology, and positivist methodology is big influencing factor, okay, in social sciences. So the first thing Amitabh Bhashkar is saying, I have a big problem with the positivist methodology. So you could ask me that what is this positivist methodology? So the positivist methodology, if somebody asks you to explain positivist methodology, the positivist methodology is this. It is based on scientific method. Okay, it believes that objective reality can be studied. Okay, it believes that a study should be value free. It believes that the researcher has nothing to do with ideology and values. The researcher will go to a study and he will or she will give you the exact result. For example, suppose she is suffering from fever, okay, and she has got fever for, let's say, 4 or 5 days. Then doctor has said, go and do the test. Okay, the blood test should be done. So suppose I am at the doctor, I have taken the blood, okay, and I have seen the blood under, let's say, some lenses, okay, and I am looking for whether she has got malaria or dengue or not. So I have found that she is caught with dengue. So I have given the report. Yes, madam, you have caught with dengue. Then she is saying, no, you are wrong. I don't have dengue because I am so strong. Dengue cannot come because my mother has given me blessing that no mosquito can ever bite you. Okay. So I will say, okay, madam, so you can go and meet another doctor. So she has gone and met another doctor. Another doctor has said, okay, you have a fever, you take blood, you will take blood and you will test it. So another doctor has also taken blood and he has also said that you have dengue. Okay. You still don't believe it. No, it can't be like this because my mother has given the blessing that dengue cannot happen to me. You reach 3-4 doctors and the conclusion is the same. So this is called positivist methodology, that whosoever is trained in research, whosoever knows the method, if the person does the inquiry, the result will be the same, irrespective of the doctor, irrespective of the caste or class of the doctor. If doctor is objective, if doctor is well trained, the result would be the same. This is called positivist methodology. You understand? That I am using scientific methodology, I am using everything scientific, and I am conducting research, and my biases are not there in the report. My biases are not there. I do not use my value. I do not say that she is having dengue because I don't like her. Dengue is there. It is out there. The reality is out there. If she says, no, I don't have dengue, so I'll say, madam, look at, this is dengue's bacteria. You just look at it. So the reality is out there. The dengue and malaria parasite is out there. You can go and you can find it. Anybody can come. You cannot deny it. This is positivist methodology. But Amitabh Bhashkar is saying that no research can be done where the biases, the ideology, the preferences, the values of the researcher can be kept away. It will go. It will go. Researcher is not like a robot. It is not like an ATM machine. You understand? That you put ATM card and you just type 2000 rupees cash withdrawal and it will give you 2000 rupees. Human beings are not just biological beings. Human beings are very much thinking person. They use concept, and when you use concept, when you go to study anything, your biases will be there. For example, I will give you the example of police thana. Suppose police station. Suppose you are in college and somebody has not behaved well with you, and there is a nearby police station. You go there and you say that you just go and enter the place and you say, where is the SHO? And suppose I am the SHO and I have come. Okay, madam, what is the problem? I was in my college and somebody has not behaved properly with me. So you please come with the college and you have to just make a complaint. So I'll say, what has happened? So no, he has passed some very inappropriate comments. Then I will say, madam, ये तो होता है. It happens. Why you make so much issue about it? Okay, forget it. लड़के हैं. Something has happened. We have so many works to do. Go. Okay. But suppose the SHO is a woman. Suppose. Not male but female. The same SHO. And you go to the SHO. And I suppose I'm a female, suppose. And I say, what has happened, sister? So somebody has made some bad comments about me. Okay, where it has happened? So it's so bad. Okay, don't worry, I'm with you. Take water. Sit down. We will definitely catch that person. So then the women SHO has come and the women SHO has done a proper investigation. So why the male SHO is not sensitive and why female SHO is sensitive? It may not be the case that all male will be insensitive. I am not saying that all male are insensitive and all female are sensitive, but there is a likelihood that if people from the marginalized community, if women are in more number in police thana, okay, in police station, women will feel much more safe. So similarly, why it is happening? Because SHO or police inspector is not only police inspector. He is also a male or female or lower caste or upper caste. So the researcher is not only researcher. He is not like a robot, computer machine. He is also a human being. He is a Bihari, he is a UP wala, he is a Delhi wala, he is a male, he is a female, he is a upper caste, he is a lower caste. He has got all kinds of biases. You might be hearing this story, oh बिहारी को ये नहीं आता है, पंजाबी लोग ऐसे होते हैं, बंगाली लोग ऐसे होते हैं, बोलते हैं ना लोग. So why we do like this? Because we all have got prejudices. You look at food. If I give her samosa, she will eat it. But if I give samosa to somebody else, that person will not eat it. Somebody likes dry fish, but I don't eat dry fish because in my area people generally eat fresh fish. For example, I went to Kerala house and I ordered sea fish. Okay, I didn't like sea fish. Okay, I liked other items but not sea fish. But you might be liking sea fish a lot. So why it is happening? Why I am giving so many examples? That do not ever say that researchers are very objective. Researchers are very neutral. And basically she is criticizing positivist understanding. No, sir. We have already read Ashish Nandi. We have already read Bandana Siva. So basically, she is saying, Amitabh Bhashkar saying that research are not neutral. Research are not out there. But when researcher goes to study, the values, the ideology, they all go into the making of the story. For example, the moment you decide a topic to study, the moment you decide the methodology of a study, the moment you decide the ideology of the study, the moment you decide the way of doing a study, the moment you decide when to do the study, the moment you decide how to do the study, the moment you decide how much time you are going to give the study, your conclusion is very much shaped already. Who is funding, who is not funding? So the basically what Amita Bhavishkar is saying, she is not saying that don't do research. She is not trying to say. She is basically trying to argue, be critical. And also understand there is a unequal relationship between the researcher and the researched. We are all privileged. We got big degree, okay. We are studying at big university, and when we go to do research, we just think that these people are just my material, okay. We will get the report and we will run away after doing the research. We have very little regards for their struggle. We have very little regards for their way of learning. So basically she is trying to sensitize you, and she is criticizing positivist methodology, that the positivist methodology which has come from the science, from your background, is not correct. Even the scientific study is very much subjective in a sense that who is funding, who is deciding what to study, how to study, that is also making it not absolutely objective. I will give you another example. Take the issue of corona. When corona was not there, okay, before corona period, you hardly find any product which is fighting against corona, okay. Once corona has happened, so every product is fighting against corona. I have seen that if you eat chamanpras, it is fighting against corona. If you have soap, it is fighting against corona. If you have anything, it is fighting against corona, okay. If you have t-shirt, okay, coronavirus will not come. So I am giving you some funny example. So what is happening before corona? No soap has ever advertised that this soap is good because it can fight coronavirus. But once corona has come, once people have become scared, then you also want to fish in troubled water. Everything you are selling and you are saying this corona. If you take this Maggi, corona will not come. If you take this drink, corona will not come. So this is what she is trying to say, that research is not so objective. Researcher is not so objective. If you are critical, if you know your limitation, if you are sensitive, then you will do much better research than if you are arrogant, okay. How could I be wrong? I speak English language. I have got degree from the foreign university. What these people know? Even they don't know how to read and write, okay. So that kind of understanding we have to give up. So the positivism believes that reality can be taken out, but when we go to take reality, it is not so simple. So she is basically saying, look at research, how the topic of research is framed, how when you decide that what to be inquired, when you decide the theoretical formula, when you decide methodology of inquiry, these are all not neutral and objective. These are all not research. What is the topic of research? How the research is going to be done? What will be the method? How much time you are going to spend? These are all not neutral and all not objective. So instead of positivist methodology, she is saying do more self-inquiry. Okay, be more critical. She is not saying that don't do research, but she is saying be critical. And one thing she is saying that in this study, she has taken inductive method rather than deductive method. I will tell you what is this inductive method and what is this deductive method, okay. And she has also made participant observation, okay. So two things I will try to explain, what is inductive method and what is deductive method. So she has taken in this study inductive method, okay, and she has lived among people, she has participated among them. Participant observation method is very important in ethnography and sociology, where you enter an alien culture, okay. You spend some time, you observe them, and by observing them you write something. So she has, I have already told you that she went to Malwa region and she was there and she has used inductive method. So I will tell you what is this inductive method and deductive method. So in inductive method we start doing research from a specific to general and deductive method from general to a specific. And in inductive method we do observation, and we observe something and then we reach a general conclusion. For example, you go to a tea shop, okay, and you see somebody coming in, let's say red hat at 11 o'clock ordering tea and coffee. Okay, 1 cup of tea, and that person take tea and sits somewhere and reads book. Next day you come, again that person has come around 11 o'clock and taken tea and coffee and reads the book. So you see the pattern for so many days, okay, and you, after seeing so many days, you reach a conclusion that the person in red or in black hat comes at 11 o'clock and take tea. So what you have done, you have observed something and then you have reached the conclusion. But what is the problem of this methodology? That reality cannot be contained in a particular observation. Suppose what if that after 6 months he doesn't come? So you have seen something, you have made a pattern, but that pattern cannot be true for all the time. So this is called inductive method. So basically when Amita Bhaveskar is going and doing research and doing participant observations, she is using inductive method. She is going there, living among them, observing them, and after continuously observing them, she is reaching the conclusion. What is this? And what is the criticism of this methodology? That even if I spend good time with you, I cannot predict about your behavior that you will do after 5 years or 10 years. What is this deductive method? Deductive method means from general you move to a specific. So for example, if somebody says the chickens are bored, and then chickens are bored and all birds lay egg, then you can say the chicken lays egg. But this can also be false also in sometimes. Having said this much, what is her lesson? What she is trying to say? She has problematized everything. She is saying that discard positivist methodology. If somebody would ask you what is this positivist methodology, how will you define? You could say positivist methodology is very much based on scientific methodology. It believes that the researcher, the observer can make objective and neutral reality. Okay, the reality is outside there. If you do proper research, you will be able to get the reality. Okay, and that reality can be properly understood if you follow scientific method. But what is the criticism of this positivist methodology? No, reality cannot so easily be accessed because the way researcher does his or her study. But what is the criticism of positivist methodology? That no, facts are not so neutral. The way you do the research, the point of view of researcher will always be there. Who is funding the research, how the research is designed. So basically she is saying discard positivism. She is more for more self-inquiry, and her argument is that truths are contextual. What is? Truths are contextual. Take the example of elephant. If a blind man goes to touch the tail of elephant, the man will say that it is just like a rope, but elephant is not like a rope. Okay, so the reality is multiple, reality is not one. Okay, and she is basically taking a bottom up approach, not top down approach. If you look at reality from top down approach, then what will happen? You will see reality from a state's point of view. Okay, these people are not cooperating, these people do not want dam, how bad they are all savage, they do not understand. Okay, we have to use police if they do not agree to our demand, they are very bad, they are being instigated by some activists, we have to get the work completed so soon. But if you take the bottom approach, what will be the reality? Oh, we poor people are being displaced, we do not have any livelihood, how bad the policy makers are, they are not understanding our point of view, it is being imposed from the top. So Amita Bhaveskar takes which approach? Bottom up. And she is asking the researcher, she is giving you advice, have intimate engagement with the people whom you are going to study. Okay, and that is why she has also taught. The Adivasi community. Okay, and she is saying, always keep in mind that research is elitist. Okay, it's a very much elite project. It is very much exploitative. So we have to keep those elements away. Okay, and it is not only to understand or to interpret and to write the story, but we have to also do action oriented research. Marx has said very famously that the philosopher have hitherto interpreted the world. The time is to change it. Okay. So suppose some women are there and I go to a study. Some women are suffering, they do not have education, and I do the story, and then after that, after completing the story, I come back. But you should also do a story not to write the book, but you should do the story in such a way that things get changed, things become better. So she is basically saying action oriented research is important, and she is saying practical way. She is talking about praxis. Praxis is very important word. She is saying praxis oriented research. What is this praxis? When you use theory that you have learned in a practical way. You are not reading books only. You are also engaging with the people. Sandeep Pandey is doing praxis. He is not doing only theory. He has studied mechanical engineering. Okay. He has taught somewhere. He has written books and articles. But he also goes out wherever there is a movement. So basically, Amita Bhashkar is saying action-oriented research and research that should be relevant to people. Okay, and there should be always be an effort on the part of researcher that the gap between the researcher and the research should be bridged. We should never go and try to exercise power. So she is saying action oriented research, and we should give priority to people's life. Okay, it should not only be intellectual ambitions. Okay, so we should be sensitive to people. And she has also said one very important thing, that when we do research and when we find contradiction in research, then okay, she is not saying that leave aside all those contradictions, but she is saying, but that does not mean that you become stagnant, you do not take action. She is against immobilizing tendency. Immobilize. So she is saying, okay, when we do research, it is possible that you get so many dimensions. It is possible that you get so many conflicting things. So try to understand, but do not think that, okay, we cannot do anything. If you go to a study dam, maybe there will be one perspective of the state, there may be another perspective of the company who is making the dam, there will be the third perspective of the people, of the leadership of the area, there may be fourth perspective of the people there may be fifth perspective of the women there. So you will get different kinds of views. Sometimes you get confused, sometimes you see the contradiction. So after seeing all those contradictions, you should not say, "Arey, ab main kya karu? What can I do? What can I do?" It's not very clear. No. If you get contradiction, you should always try to resolve those contradictions and take ethical position, take action-oriented position. That contradiction should not mean that you sleep and you say, "Oh, I can't do anything." So basically, she's trying to say that, okay, when you do research, there may be several points where you feel confused, where you see contradiction, but you should never give up research. You should never feel that, okay, I can't do anything. You should always have action oriented research. So today we have studied Amita Bhashkar, and whatever she is saying, I believe that this is the problem of any researcher. This is not the problem of only Amita Bhashkar. So she is a brilliant scholar. I have tried to brought in her methods, and if you have not understood anything, let me also in 2 minutes summarizes. Amita Bhashkar has written a book, In the Belly of River. In that book, she has discussed the methodology, how she has done the research, her first argument is that we need to give up positivist methodology while doing the research. Why positivist methodology? Because positivist methodology believes that reality is objective, reality is natural, neutral, and the researcher have no ideology. Researcher always does objective and neutral studies, but instead of that, she is saying it is not like that. Researcher is also guided by his own interest, who is funding the research. So we should be critical of positivist methodology, and we should go and reach people in such a way that our research goes to help them. It should be action oriented research. It should not be just to fulfill our academic and intellectual ambitions and our career, and we should not limit ourselves for just fulfilling our career. And she has said that there is a need to understand people also. There is need to involve them, to work with them, to see them as equal partner, and always believe that research activity is elitist. It is very much exploitative, because we always go there with a privileged position. So we should try to give it up. She is not saying, and I also don't believe that you will be able to give it up, because you are there in a better position. But try to be humane, try to be kind, try to be what should I say, sympathetic, try to understand them, try to have empathy for them, try to treat them as equal being, and think that the survival of the Adivasi community is linked with the survival of everybody. This is what she has to say, and I have tried to summarize it. If you have any question, you are most welcome.